Hey guys, it's Jonathan Branstein here, your host. I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you to all of our listeners. We couldn't do this without your support. Also, I wanted to say, if you guys have questions, if there's stuff you want to know, and if there's stuff that you've come across in the last 13 episodes, and you have questions or you're wondering about something, please, by all means, tweet me at Sicario Effect or at Jay Branstein. That's JBrandstein. And you can also go on our website and ask questions there. I have one request. Please, please, please review and rate. If you can do that, it will help us tremendously. I hate asking because I just want to provide content for you guys to enjoy and listen to, but it helps tremendously. As I've said in the past, I don't like asking for that, but you cannot imagine what it means when we get reviews from you guys. And so far, we've had really great reviews, so it's been nice. Also, if you could tell your friends and have them subscribe, that is one way that will help us tremendously, and it's another way of showing your support, and we really, really appreciate it. Now, because it's Thanksgiving, we decided to take a break and spend time with family and friends. With that said, we didn't want to leave you without anything. So we decided to bring you a mini episode this week. It's not going to be as long as a normal episode, but it's just something to, I guess, hopefully tide you over. And then next Monday, we will have a whole new episode. Our next official episode, that is, episode 14, will be out on December 3rd, and everything subsequently after that. So, again, thank you, and please, please, I'll say it the last time, rate and review. It really helps. And thank you again for supporting us. It means a lot. A listener note, this story contains adult content and language. If you're listening to this podcast, you might want to go back and start at episode 1. This is a story being told in chronological order. You might miss some details or context that are pretty important to the story. From Exclave Media, this is The Sicario Effect.
Se busca a Pablo Escobar. Recompensa 2,700.
Con John Jairo Velázquez Vázquez. ¿Usted por qué se entrega de nuevo a la justicia?
Porque no le debo nada a la justicia.
A Colombian hired killer known as Popeye has been released from prison.
Hola guerreras y guerreros, yo soy su amigo John Jairo Velázquez Vázquez, conocido como Popeye.
Alias Popeye, mi señorón.
Yo soy John Jairo Velázquez Vázquez Popeye,
The following is a conversation that we recorded on December 14th, 2017. In the room was my producer, Caitlin Tyrrell, Ernie Hurtado, and sound engineer and editor, Will Broughton. The three of us basically at that point were still trying to figure out Popeye. There was a lot going on, and I thought it would be interesting to share this conversation with you as part of our mini episode today to give you an idea of where our heads were at as right in the moment when things were happening with Popeye in the news after being discovered at the party with Alias Tom. I'm just looking at this thing. This is yet from yesterday, and it says here, okay, so this is from one of these Colombian news channels. So the president, Juan Manuel Santos, made a comment to reporters yesterday that Popeye should return to jail. This is crazy. I'm just, I think he's, the president's commenting on it.
Yeah.
Well, didn't the, essentially prosecutor's office also say he should?
Yeah, no. Well, the prosecutor's office did, but, when does the president of a country comment on the status of a criminal?
Well, if you have that and the prosecutor's office's letter, do you think he's actually gonna go back to jail?
Yeah, does he have enough to just...
To me,
take him
it
back?
Seems like he's gonna go back.
Oh, man.
Doesn't it seem like that to you guys?
I would think so.
Well, because, first of all, look, obviously Colombia's not the U.S., but if you have a guy who was released, unconditionally, or conditionally, rather, and he's out now, and then he was with the most wanted man in the country. This, to me, seems like a really big development, that the president of the country is saying that Popeye should go back to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also seems like maybe since he's been out of jail, he's been causing a lot of, just pushing wrong buttons on people. Yeah, he's just
really loud. But you know what Esteban said to me after we did our interview with him? He said, Like, he just kind of looked at me and went, he's not going back. And but again, I mean, this was before the president made a comment, so I don't know, maybe to me, like, I just can't believe it. Like, I think I don't know, there's a lot here that's indicating he's going to go back to jail.
Do presidents usually get involved with such, like, matters?
No, I mean, it seems low stakes.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
It seems what?
Like, low stakes. Like, really, like, it's like, why are you invested in something that seems this small on the scale of, like, you're a president of a country?
Right.
It's putting a lot of weight to that statement.
True, yeah.
I mean, I'm just... When I look at these articles, he said here, Popeye must return to prison.
Well, it seems like most people feel that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he even did the Twitter poll.
I know.
And
it did not do well.
Yeah, and it went against his favor.
It did not do well for him.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I mean, here's another article. I mean, there's like 12 articles here about the president making this comment, so I don't know. I just, I never thought we would be here right now. Like, the last thing, when we were sitting there in Medellin, and he said to me, I mean, if you heard, I think you've listened to the whole thing, at the end, he's talking about his son and everything, and how he wants a better life for him, and this, and he's repent, and it's like, to like a week later,
Yeah,
it's crazy. I mean, just weeks later, here we are, like, and like, again, I know it's how it looks on the surface, but I mean, he's hanging out with very, very wanted people. Mm-hmm. These are all people that are part of La Oficina de Envigado, and so, if just for a second though, like, if you have people that you knew from when you were doing really bad things, when you were a criminal. And, like, I think there's some kind of code where you're not necessarily just going to be like, erase them from your mind. Now, common sense would say not to go hang out with him again, but...
Yeah, because, I mean, I get the whole, like...
I mean, there's nothing illegal about what he did being at a party.
And stuff, but at the same time, it's like, if you're really trying to turn your life around and show that you're repentant and you, like, truly understand what you did was wrong and stuff, I don't think you then go... hey, I'm going to go hang out with all these narcos and, like, at their big party and everything. I think you'd want a little more distance than that, maybe. And the other part of it, to me, is, like, if just on the surface it doesn't look great, I can't imagine the more you dig into it, I can't imagine it gets better.
Well, I don't know, though. I mean, like, it literally could have been, like... hey, I needed to go. I mean, I'm not trying to choose sides in this.
He doesn't say that either, like when...
Well, he did in the one tweet where he said, I just went to a party. So, so he's with, like, gangsters. Like, I mean, it's like a gangster party, total gangster party. There are all these mafia guys there. And so if he's there, it doesn't necessarily mean he's doing anything bad. On the other hand, it doesn't look good, but... it's just possible that, like, he thought, well, maybe you never know in that world. Maybe they had to help. Maybe I needed their help for something, or maybe just to something that.
Yeah, no, he's still in it, man. I don't know. Like, I know you're trying not to you're trying to play this part of, like, being neutral, but, like, I think he's very heavily involved in the cartel.
Well, he's so big on his image too that you would think if he wasn't involved.
But he's risking. But just for a second, that he's risking. Like, I mean, think about all that he did. He's out, and party aside, I don't know if I would have said that necessarily, given because again, like, the guy, he had a TV series option. He had you can live pretty well. I mean. Of course, I don't know what it's like.
I don't think he's risking that because it's not the TV show. It's like his image. Yes, the Popeye the Repentant is definitely a big aspect of this. But on the other hand, there's still a really big part of his image is he was Pablo Escobar's hitman. So,
oh no, I know.
So like him being at the party, it's not like it's ruined his entire brand. It's more like. Are you like? It's like.
It's on brand. Because I think now him being on. With not understanding how social media works, because I don't think he truly gets it. I think he's doing it. There's
how social media works.
He's working with.
I think he gets how it works. You don't think so?
I don't think he truly understands it because I just don't because I think there may be a team of people helping him and telling him YouTube, Twitter, and that's his new image. For sure.
Oh, right, okay.
So, yeah, I think there's a bunch of people behind him.
They're in charge of his brand. But that's what I was thinking. Because it's like, this doesn't help with your brand, like the image you've cultivated of being Popeye the Repentant.
Right.
And it doesn't help with that brand.
Well, I'll say this though: if he does have people helping him, they certainly where were they when he was tweeting the last 2 days? Because I mean,
yeah, but that's still on brand for him to be like attacking folks on Twitter like that.
Yeah, but there's the inconsistencies is not on brand. That doesn't look good.
I tell you what, his brand is the cartel, Medellin cartel, and doing high crazy gangster shit with all these people. That's his brand. Him just trying to adapt and play this character, and it's becoming obvious that it's a character, has been exposed, I feel.
Yeah.
He is a true gangster through and through. He knows nothing else.
Yeah.
He's trying to embrace the social media thing because of someone told him to do it. I don't think in his mind and in his soul that he really obviously is repentant. I think
it's a platform for him to tell his story.
To tell his narrative. I don't think it's anything other than to make a buck, but I think he's heavily involved in the cartel.
It's like how he kept saying in your interview with him, I'm the living memory of the Medellin cartel.
But just let me say one thing.
The platform is that.
I don't know what it's like to run a drug cartel or a criminal organization, but if I were running the office or one of these outfits, the last thing I'd want is a guy who's got so much publicity around him near us. It would be like. So that's the only reason why I'm like.
I don't think they understand how social media works either.
Well,
they might not, but they also know enough to be like to stay out of the news.
Isn't the only reason him being there came out because it was rated? I mean, it wasn't like there were pictures getting posted and stuff at the time.
Yeah, definitely was a sting operation from the beginning.
I think he has people that do brand management and help him with social media stuff. I don't think
management.
But I don't think he has a handler who's like, no, you can't go to that party, you can't do this. I think
he doesn't have a handler.
I think he needs to uphold an image for whatever reason that he's repented for. Maybe it might be because of the court system.
Well, also, he's got fans who talk about him being a saint because of the whole repentant thing. So if he just is like, screw that, I'm not repentant.
I think he knows about the culture of Medellin, and he's really taking advantage of it.
Yeah, he's using it.
He's using it completely.
Unless there's also another idea is he... I mean, this would be some kind of genius sort of Machiavellian thing, but maybe he's the distraction that the
office is using.
Yeah, that the office wants. Let him talk about Medellin cartel and all that, and then that's just fine. We'll conduct our business, and
I mean, that would make sense to why he has a team.
Well, we don't know if he has a team. I mean, it's like, I mean, again, that's something we need to look into. But I just. It's, it seems to me this is a big story right now. And, when the president of the country says he should go back to jail, when there's all these people online are like, yeah, go back. This is,
Dude, maybe it's some OJ shit where they're just making him go back to jail for anything that he did as opposed to
shut him up.
Yeah. Just to, because, I'm not saying, he should have died.
You know what? I said, I thought the same kind of thing, but, Esteban said to me yesterday, he said... Dude, he's not, he said the one thing is he's not important enough to go to jail. And I said, really? He said, well, he didn't think he was as big enough to go to jail or there wasn't enough money involved. And you could take that however you want, but it was I mean, clearly with these...
I can see it in the sense of Alias Tom is definitely more important, but I also can see him being important in the grand scheme of things of he's keeping this whole Medellin cartel, Pablo Escobar stuff, yes, it's very much still alive in Colombia.
It's a big business.
But, yeah, he's definitely using that for himself, and he's keeping it alive in front, in the spotlight. It's not something that can really fade out with him being here.
Yeah, they went from narco-terrorism to narco-tourism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's
they just rebranded themselves
so
that they can stay alive.
And he totally uses that for himself all the time.
And, Popeye's a survivor, so he'll adapt.
Yeah, that I know. I mean, he will definitely adapt.
For survival, he'll do and say whatever he has to do. And I think all he knows is being a gangster and all his new branded image. I think what he sees an opportunity to use Pablo Escobar's name to make a move.
Yeah. When he says he's repentant, and yet the families of Luis Carlos Galan and Carlos Mauro Hoyo and the thousands of others are, there's no... this is not fun for them. That's the thing.
Well, it's not like because I mean, you even talked about that woman's daughter who got killed. It's like she didn't accept Popeye's apology because she thought necessarily.
Oh, Deanna Turbai's daughter.
She didn't accept his apology because it was like, yeah, he's 100% sincere. He totally feels horrible about all this. She's like, no, I accepted his apology because I needed to do that to be able to move on and be healthy for myself.
Right. What we need to do is we need to figure out. I mean, obviously now we've got this like turn that we've taken, so we're gonna follow it. But I think we need to talk to some people about who we can speak to, if we can find anybody.
Was he making deals? Like, I want to know, was he low key making deals on the side?
Yeah, like
making drug deals?
I'm not saying
no, like involved.
Deals.
Like, was he just there because it's like, oh, they're my friends from back in the day and stuff, or was it like, is it part of business that he's conducting?
I don't know what Pablo Escobar set up right before he left this earth.
All I know is that the office, and this is what we really need to go into, is like what these guys are clearly the kind of next iteration of the Medellin cartel. Mm-hmm. So
I bet that I think he's involved somehow. I can feel it. Like, there's no way that you go to a party like that if you really cherished your freedom. You'd say thanks, but no thanks.
Or it's like the one thing that you can't say no to because you go, all right, I'm just for a second, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna shake hands, pay my respect, and then I'm out of there because I don't want to be part of this life. We don't. I'm just saying, just to be. So
maybe he's getting a Lifetime Achievement Award.
It's the Narco Hall of Fame. Yeah.
The Narco Awards. I don't know, but I do know that you don't go to if you really are truly repentant.
Yeah, if your main image is.
But we also have to remember something.
But
you know what? It just occurred to me as we're talking. He's not a drug dealer. Okay, he is not. Yes, he was convicted of drug trafficking, but that's another charge they threw at him because he was part of an organization. But at the end of the day, at the core of this guy's a murderer. He's an assassin.
He's an
enforcer. Killer. He's an enforcer. So
yeah, but are we saying that? Like, that's still something that's used by the office.
But you know how many guys there are in Medellin that they can. I mean, and younger. Not to be. I mean, the guy looks like he's in decent shape, but come on, there's younger, tougher. As tough.
Let's just be honest too. Are you just buying his narrative he's selling you?
Where I was naive was I don't fully understand the scope of it, and from what I've seen just so far, like The Office isn't just some bunch of street thugs in a tiny.
It's not small time.
This is a multinational.
It's almost like a corporation.
Like trafficking corporation.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, they're involved in other things than drugs too. It seems like, but.
I think we have to look more into like narco culture as a whole. I think we need to look into The Office.
In a weird way, I'm happy about one thing. If he does go to jail, for the victims, this is a big deal.
At least it'll be.
And I feel like right now, I mean, it's the last 48 hours has been honestly like this fever pitch, and I feel like by the end of this week, who knows, or next week, we could see this guy going back to jail. I think there's a shot. Mm-hmm. I really do. And
I mean, that's part of it. He's keeping it alive.
Yeah, he's running towards the fire. If you're enjoying the podcast, please subscribe, rate, and review. Seriously, it helps. I hate bothering everybody for this, but I gotta do it. Please visit our website for a full list of credits and some cool bonus materials, like photos, videos, and declassified documents at thesicarioeffect.com. If you're not sure how to spell it, it's the name of the podcast. Or you can follow us on Instagram at The Sicario Effect, or on Twitter at Sicario Effect. There is no "the" in the handle. And on Facebook at Exclave Media. I'm Jonathan Branstein, your host and writer. The show is produced by me, Caitlin Tyrrell, Ernie Hurtado, and Matt Olson. Our editor is William Broughton. Our engineer, sound design, and mix, Ernie Hurtado. Co-producer, Esteban Orozco. Music composed by Preston Nowakowski. Artwork, Juan Felipe Orozco. Additional music is composed by William Broughton. Interview translator, Alejandro Caseño. Additional translation, Juliet Restrepo, Christina Madrid. Production support was provided by Daniel Uria. Special thanks to Laura Kate Jones, Mauricio Builes, Alejandro Brugas, Alejandro Doring, Alexandra Doring, Tim Fufus, Tom Freston, Ross Bernard, Kelvin Wells II, Saad Mohseni, Yoshi Obayashi, Jeff Frankel, Stephen Molina, and the fabulous Los Hermanos Orozco. Additional thanks to the Museo Casa de la Memoria in Medellin, the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library, the George Bush Presidential Library and Museum, Michael Pinckney, Mary Finch, IAFIT Medellin, Luisa Garces. Also, please visit the Narco Tour project at narcotour.co. That's narcotour.co. This podcast is dedicated to the memory of Guillermo Cano, Anthony Bourdain, and Larry Bresner.